So in this video, we're just planting out a few plants in our front garden. As you've seen in the last video, we top dressed it with some sheep manure, and now just in this garden bed, we're putting in some potatoes. These are just leftover potatoes we've had from previous sowings. So they're pretty old, not really sure if they're going to do any good, but we had them, so we chucked them in. We had nothing else to put in this bed at this present time, so yeah, just see how these go. So it was pretty rough with how I did these potatoes this time. It was pretty warm outside, so I kind of just chucked them into the rows where I wanted them, like literally at some stages were throwing them. And then my husband followed along and planted all the potatoes. Then we had some seeds we wanted to plant, so I had already planted some cauliflowers just in front of me in the garden bed, and from where I am at back I did some bok choy, some Chinese kale, beetroot, just lots of bok choy and Asian greens basically, and then up to the end I did beetroot. And so we'll see how that goes. I didn't have enough mulch to do the rest of the garden bed, and because we're still getting semi-warm days, the top layer of the sheep manure is staying fairly dry, so germination rate, I'm not really too sure how it's going to go, but these seeds are kind of old as well, so probably on their last legs, so may not germinate due to that either. So I just figured I'll throw them in, see how they go. If they don't germinate at any point where I think they should, then I'll probably just come through with some more seeds or seedlings and replant this garden bed. But the cauliflower are looking pretty good. So after planting all the seeds, I've come through and just given it a really good water to try to get that top layer of sheep manure nice and moist for the seeds to germinate, and tried to keep it as moist as possible since then, just to help with germination and the fact that the mulch isn't keeping it moist in between watering. So trying to keep on top of that, but try not to use too much water either. I really try to conserve as much water as I can, so got to find that happy medium right there. So these are my cauliflower. I have a few different varieties. So I have the white cauliflower, I can't remember the exact name of it, but then I have the purple sprouting cauliflower and just normal purple. So yeah, a few different ones in there. Just grabbed all the different seeds that I had and just planted them all into a seedling tray and then just chucked them in. I didn't name them because every time I name them, tags go missing. I know this section of my garden bed is all cauliflower, so we should be good. So this is insect netting that I brought from a netting shop. I'm using this to try to stop caterpillars, the green caterpillars and armyworms, because I'm still trying to get on top of the armyworms that we have in the garden. And I know that if they got into this garden bed with those seedlings, they wouldn't even last a night, I don't think. So I just keep this over pretty much 24/7, lift it if I need to water, but my sprinkler system does go through this netting, so it works pretty well that way, but I do lift it from time to time to check that there is no caterpillars in there and just to give it another decent water. I did use this netting over my asparagus bed when I first moved into this house, and the asparagus was small. I had some cauliflower and broccoli around in that garden bed, and someone had lifted it slightly and not shut it, and I believe that's where armyworm got in, and by the time I noticed, because I wasn't checking enough, it was absolutely hammered by the armyworm. So it is good, even if you're using a net, to check regularly to make sure that you haven't trapped them inside, because none of the beneficial insects that can prey upon these things can get in to control them, so they can get out of hand really quickly. So after finishing the garden bed with the netting on, we had some zinnias and dill we wanted to plant out, so we've just gone around a couple of the garden beds, just planted some zinnias and dill around in those, around the edges. It may be getting a bit late for the zinnias, but I had planted some seeds in seedling trays, so I thought, well, we've got them here, so we'll put them in. So yeah, could be getting late for the zinnias, but the dill should be coming into a good time of the year for the dill, as long as it doesn't bolt if we get a few hot days. So I have had that before, even when they're tiny. But yeah, just trying to have some flowers in the garden and bring in those beneficial insects to try to help control some of the pests that are around. So that's about what we got up to in the last week in the garden. It's looking pretty bare, and I really dislike my garden looking like this. I love it when it's like green and lush and looks like a jungle, so it's a little bit disheartening, I suppose you would say, when I walk out and my garden looks like this, although top dressing and all the other stuff that you do in between to get the garden right is part of the process. I do prefer it when my garden's looking lush and green, so I'm really looking forward to all of these plants starting to take off. The next garden bed will be for garlic. I've just got to find some and actually buy it so I can get it in the ground before it's too late. So hopefully soon you'll be seeing me planting out some garlic for the garlic bed. Anyway, take it easy and have a good one.